In less than a fortnight, 5 attacks have taken place in Jammu and Kashmir. Particularly, construction workers, migrant laborers have been targeted. In fact, in the latest encounter that has been carried out, Republic TV has now got details of the operation that has been carried out by the joint forces. Once again, the handiwork of Pakistan seems to be quite clear. Pakistani imprint in the attacks that have been carried out have now been documented by the joint forces. In fact, we've also got undeniable proof of Pakistani role in the attack that took place just in less than 24 hours ago. A body that has been recovered after almost 12 hours of encounter turns out is of a Pakistani terrorist. Remember, in the last 1 month, the infiltration in this area has also gone up, with security forces basically indicating that a particular launch pad has been extremely active. For more details on this, I'm also joined by my colleague Zeenat. Zeenat, what more are you picking up?
See, Shravan, as far as this encounter in Khanyar area that comes in the downtown area of downtown Srinagar, a Pakistani terrorist who's been identified by the J&K police of Srinagar district is Lashkari. He has been active in the Kashmir Valley for the last 7 years. He has been shifting his base from Srinagar to South Kashmir to the North Kashmir. He has been operating in Kashmir Valley under different code names. And for the last 3 months, he has been in Srinagar state. Since August 14, the first CASO was launched in Khanyar area in the same house, and these inmates were questioned, and today he was neutralized at a very same place. That is what the police sources are telling us. Yesterday evening, after an attack that took place in the Mazaham area of central Kashmir's Budgam, where the local terrorists targeted non-locals with small weapon, immediately the alert was sounded not only in Budgam but also in different districts of the Kashmir Valley. And from Budgam, the Srinagar is an adjoining district. Again, their input has come to the cargo unit of Srinagar police about the movement of Lashkari in Khanyar. Immediately, men and machinery was pressed into the service. So accordingly, around 3 in the morning, the CASO started, and around 8:30 in the morning, this CASO turned into an encounter when the security forces, Jammu and Kashmir police, cargo unit, and also CRPF reached to the suspected spot, and the hiding terrorists fired upon forces, triggering an encounter. This continued almost for 8 to 9 hours. We witnessed the huge gunfight, and finally the Jammu and Kashmir police, the Srinagar police, because this was an intel int that was generated by the cargo unit, which specializes in the operations and the intelligence details. This int has again come to the cargo unit, and that was shared with the SSP Srinagar. And finally, the encounter that continued for almost 8 to 9 hours today comes to an end with the killing of Lashkari, who has been active in the valley for 7 years. In fact, if you remember, we did a story from the Eidgah when Inspector Masroor, who was playing a cricket on Sunday with the locals, when he was targeted. As per the Srinagar police, Masroor was hit by this very Lashkari from a very close location, and Masroor suffered a critical injury. He was almost bedridden for 1 month, and then he succumbed at AIIMS, New Delhi. Finally, the Jammu and Kashmir police was able to avenge the death of Masroor and others. He was one of the perpetrators who was involved in multiple killings and attacks towards the security forces, policemen, locals as well as non-locals, and he was running a module for Lashkar-e-Toiba in Jammu and Kashmir. And since he has been active in Kashmir Valley for almost 7 years, so he was well versed with the entire geographical area, geographical locations. He was well versed with multiple things. But Jammu and Kashmir, as I said, that there had been the multiple meetings that were going on about Lashkari for a long time, and multiple CASOs were launched to flush him out. Recently, there was a meeting that was shared at the Raj Bhavan by LG of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, where he had given a clear directions to the all forces to neutralize the threat on ground, because this was the sixth attack in the last 12 days where we have witnessed the casualties as well as the injuries. So massive manhunt was launched in the entire Kashmir Valley from south to north and to central Kashmir. After all these 6 incidents took place, we have seen today an encounter in Anantnag where the 2 terrorists were neutralized without a collateral damage. And as far as the Srinagar is concerned, for Srinagar police, this is a success because this encounter comes almost after 2.5 years.
Right.
If you remember, the last time the encounter that was reported from Srinagar was in 2022 June, when one Pakistani terrorist and a local was neutralized in Bemina area. Yes, Shravan.
Well, Zinat, I'll request you to stay on with us as we are also getting the first response coming in from the Jammu and Kashmir police. I'm told IGP Birdi spoke a short while back.
ये जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस और सीआरपी को एक स्पेसिफिक इत्तला मिली थी और उस इत्तला को डेवलप करने के बाद जो खानियार में थांग मोहल्ले का एक कॉर्डन सर्च किया गया। जब कॉर्डन के दौरान जब हम लोग वहाँ पे सर्च और पार्टीज क्लोज थी तो अंदर से फायर का जो है वॉली हमारी जो है सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस की पार्टी पे आया। तो उसके बाद एक ये ऑपरेशन शुरू हुआ। तो आज अर्ली मॉर्निंग से शाम तक ये ऑपरेशन चला और अब ये ऑपरेशन मुकम्मल हो चुका है। इसमें एक जो टेररिस्ट है वो सुरक्षा बलों ने मार गिराया है, तो जिसकी तस्दीक उस्मान लश्करी अलियास छोटा वलीद के तौर पे एलईटी का कमांडर था उस तौर पर हुई है। और इसमें सुरक्षा बलों के जो 4 जवान हैं उनको इंजरीज आई हैं, 2 जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस के जवान हैं और 2 सीआरपी के जवान हैं।
Well, in fact, a consolidated report now coming in from the Jammu and Kashmir in terms of the multiple anti-terror operations that have been carried out. From Anantnag, 2 terrorists have been gunned down. As far as Kanyar is concerned, what you see right now on your screens, these are the images of the terrorist that was gunned down in Kanyar. Remember, Kanyar happens to be right at the heart of Srinagar. In fact, Jammu and Kashmir police saying that they had got specific inputs about the presence of a Pakistani terrorist who has been involved in other attacks that have been carried out in the valley. In fact, over the last 1 month, there has been one particular module that has been extremely active, carried out multiple infiltration, and they believe that some of these Pakistani trained terrorists managed to reach the hinterland over the last few days, and that is the reason why you see that the number of attacks that have taken place and the pattern that has basically emerged with center-sponsored schemes being targeted to send across a message. We'll try and see if we can also go back to our reporters on the